Now, as for the managers, this might surprise you. Actually surprised me this morning when I kind of made this list. There are still openings with, in no particular order, the Guardians, the Mets, the Angels, the Brewers, potentially, if Craig Counsell doesn't return, the Astros, now that Dusty Baker will be stepping down, and of course now the San Diego Padres. Yes, the Padres. Now, on September 19th, Dennis Lynn and I of The Athletic wrote a story, a long story, headlined "The Padres' Disastrous Season Reveals Shaky Foundation and Institutional Failure." In that story, we had an unnamed player using the words institutional failure. We had a former staffer saying the environment was the most toxic. And we had another unnamed player saying the relationship between manager Bob Melvin and general manager AJ Preller was unfixable. Unfixable. And then at the end of the season, AJ Preller, the general manager, held a news conference. And at that news conference, he said some pretty interesting things, and he made reference to what had been written. Let's go to some of these quotes here. Here's the first one. "Bob is our manager, and he's going to be our manager going forward. I think both he and I, a lot's been said obviously in the last few weeks, but both he and I are very excited about the challenge of getting this team, back to the postseason next year." That was one quote from AJ Preller. Here's another. "I think the anonymous quotes and the unnamed sources, we don't give any credibility to that." Okay, AJ Preller, you just let your manager go to the Giants, a division rival, because your relationship with him was, guess what? Unfixable. You let him go without compensation after 2 seasons, the first of which ended with an appearance in the NLCS. And now you're going to be hiring your 6th manager in 10 years. 6th. That includes an interim, Pat Murphy, who was basically the guy who replaced Bud Black in June of 2015, managed the rest of the year. 6 managers in 10 years. I will tell you, folks, most GMs don't get nearly that many. So enough of the kumbaya in San Diego. It was not kumbaya in San Diego. And you know what? That story we wrote, Dennis and I, we should have gone even stronger.